nice to be here again. I can't believe how quickly time passes, and here we are again. So today we're going to work on the word balance, and before we do that, of course, we always want to start with our ohms. And I would just want to incorporate the word balance into our ohming in the sense of that, again, we ohm so that we can create the space to be able to clear out clutter from inside of us, so we can be more receptive, so that we can build this energy between all of us and beyond. So we're working on balance even with our ohming. So just make sure you're sitting straight, and doesn't matter if you feel like you have a really good voice or not. That's not really important. What's important is your spirit, your heart. The actions, the actual karma that comes from any action comes from your intention, known or unknown to you. So we're setting an intention here for peace. So let us work together and do 3 ohms together. Oh. 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 Much better. So today, like I was saying, today we're going to work on balance. That's been the word for us on this last month. It was kind of interesting to me. It was one of those words that people kept saying back to me. I realize it's a word that is easier to insert in conversation than other words sometimes that we have. But this word balance during June was really one of those words that people kept saying to me, well, I'm looking for balance. Well, I don't know, is that balanced? So I really, it would make me smile inside, like, oh, there's the word. Oh, there's the word again. And because it's always important to, uh, see what words are being said to you. Of course, we have to be like aware of what our words are to others, but it's always an interesting thing to see what words are being said to you. So, because the reason I'm saying that is because of balance. What's in our mind affects the other person. What's in their mind affects us. So there's this interaction where we want to have balance with whoever it is that we're speaking to, or whatever it is that we're doing. And balance is one of those things that is constantly changing. You can't have balance and it never moves again. So the thing about balance is it's always in need of our attention for adjustments. But we never want to have ourselves feel like, oh, I've got to adjust my balance again. And we just have to learn to flow with it no matter what it is. So we talked about balance in a physical way, like we go to the bank and we're like, okay, what's my big balance here? Well, I guess we don't go to the bank, but we have a bank balance that we can check. We have a balance in how our health is. What are your numbers? How's your blood pressure? Your cholesterol, your weight, your this, your that. We're always looking for balance. What is your balance with your family? What is your balance with your coworkers? You see, we don't really use this word in terms of asking questions. How is our balance? Am I balanced with these people? Am I balanced with these ideas? Do they match me? Or am I in opposition to them? Are they in opposition to me? Because the saboteur opposition can really knock us out of balance. So we do have to have balance in opposition, how we deal with opposition. Because if you have opposition coming at you and you just push really strong back, unless your life's in danger, it's like there's really not a whole lot of reason why we have to push harder than we were already pushed. And I'm talking verbally more than anything else. Because once somebody pushes on our energy verbally, it's very hard. If it's negative, it's very hard to recover right away. So like if somebody, like in driving, this happens every day, where somebody really has to scold another driver, and that can knock both drivers completely out of balance. And we already know we have a word for this called road rage, where it really, when it gets to a certain point, it escalates to that point where things are so radically out of balance that that opposition comes crashing into each other. So things crash into each other when we're really radically out of balance. So the balance, the thing that I wanted to talk about with balance is it's from the inside out. So we know that if this side is here and this side's here, things are out of balance. You can see it with your eyes, that's out of balance. But can you see the measurement of balance in your inner life with your outer life? I say this because a lot of times we look at our outer life and we're very interested in, again, blaming and shaming. Well, I would be further along if they would have done this, or I'm too much into this because of that. And, we look at all the outer reasons why we're out of balance. We do that even with our own body. Well, I wasn't going to do that, but, they said it would be okay. And, we listen so much to the outer definition of balance that we're not working as much on our inner balance. So inner balance has to do with peace. How much peace do you have? Do you wake up feeling peaceful, or do you wake up feeling really anxious or angry or whatever it might be? How do you wake up on a general, on in any given day? We all have those times where we're going to wake up and not feel as balanced as we did the day before. But I'm saying this too for many reasons, but one is that there's this balance between the body and the mind that we don't really think about as much. You know that your body does not move unless your mind says move. My mind says move the hand moves. Every organ in my body is affected by my mind. So my mind is not my brain, but my mind and my brain are in relationship with each other. So my mind is made up of light. My brain is made up of, same things my body is. So what I'm saying to you is in the brain, it's like the superpower of the nervous system, right? So all the nerves have roads that go to the brain, sort of like that way old saying about all roads lead to Rome, all nerves lead to the brain. So at some point or another, there's this communication that's always happening. So we know that when I move, the brain tells my hand to move. My question to you is, who tells the brain what to do? The brain tells the body, every part of the body, what to do. But who tells the brain what to do? We don't talk about that. It's you, the part of you that's made up of light. Every thought that you have, you can't see it as you're thinking it because it's made up of light and it happens inside of you. So you don't see it, but you experience it because it makes you feel, yeah, or, oh, or I can't wait, whatever the feeling is. You experience your mind through our nervous system, through our body. But it's important for you to know that the condition of your brain is about the condition of your mind. And that there's relationship, of course, between the mind and the brain and the rest of the body. So balance helps us to remember that the balance in the body is always caused by an imbalance in the mind, not in the brain, but in the mind. There are imbalances that are caused by the brain, but for today, we're talking about karma. So how we think is from previous experiences, from yesterday, the beginning of your life, afterlives, as well as past lives here on this planet. Everything affects the quality of thoughts because everything is cause and effect. Cause and effect is an exercise in pondering on the nature of balance. So when we focus on the word balance, we're focusing on karma. We're teaching ourselves to understand what karma really is. Because it takes a long time to relieve ourselves of feeling that everything is about judgment, petty judgments, harsh judgments. Karma doesn't have anything to do with that. It is cause and effect. Very, very, very difficult. Cause, effect. They're always in balance with each other. That doesn't mean that we perceive that our life is in balance. It doesn't, we don't. We don't realize that everything is about adjustments. I don't know. When I was a teenager, one of the things my mom used to like to say is, you need an attitude adjustment. It's about finding that balance. Something was out of balance and I needed to adjust my scales to suit her viewpoint on what balance was, of course. So we're always adjusting ourselves. The problem with this is usually we are doing it in a nitpicky way, and we force ourselves to think certain ways. We force our body to look a particular way so we can get a particular result. But the more that we do that, we actually are narrowing the possibilities. The more that we consider balance, being balanced from the inside out, the possibilities of the different karmic possibilities, they come back to us in a higher way because we're teaching ourselves to choose to be present, to choose to be authentic. So when you're like giving service to somebody who needs it, maybe there's a family member who needs tending to, but it's really inconvenient and you find yourself going there to do your duty, but you're like really in a hurry. Oh God, am I still gonna be able to go where I need to go? And why do I have to do this? You see how out of balance I am in this whole situation? I'm not present. So the karma of giving service to this person is not pure. So the effect of that service to that person comes back to me in an impure way. So in other words, if I show up in a pure way, maybe I still have all these things that I have to do today. And I think, oh, but I've got to go help so-and-so. I said I would. It's my turn. Let me go. Let me forget everything else for right now. And let me be present there. Let my heart take me there, not my anxiousness. When you show up with your heart, then you're really, really doing something that's balanced because your word said you would be there. And now you're backing it up with your intention. You're practicing balance. We kind of think, well, I'm thinking very much about where I have to go. Blah, 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 right? Whatever that is. But you're right there in front of somebody that you are helping. So balance has a lot to do with us understanding that being in the moment has relationship to the past and to the future. Because this moment was yesterday's future. This moment is tomorrow's past. So I have the past on this side, the future on this side, and both exist in my life because of my center, because of my mind. So karma is all about, one of the things that karma is really all about is teaching us how we think, how we feel, how we move. If you pay attention to the word balance more deeply, you begin to see how out of balance we really are. We're so busy thinking on the results that we have and the worst case scenarios that we have to almost like make that happen. And that makes us live still out of balance. So the present isn't about that you're not thinking about the past or the future. This mistake and thought happens all the time. Or people are like, I don't want to be in the moment. I want to be in the future. I want to move. I'm a mover and a shaker. There's nothing in your future that doesn't have a past. Everything has a cause and an effect. Your entire future is based on how you think today and how you feel today and your past. There's going to be nothing, I want to say it to you again, nothing is in your future that isn't in your present and or in your past. It's a different combination of things because we're always adding to this. We're always creating imbalance and balance. Always. So karma is cause and effect. It's very, very difficult, I understand. And we're not going to talk about really, really big things, because when we start talking about karma in the really big way, then it's become so emotional that we think that we have to believe in karma. There's nothing to believe in. Nothing to believe in. How the sun and the earth and all the planets move, there's perfect harmony there. It's balance. It's cause and effect. There's causes that put them where they are. And the effects are on us. And they're going through their own life cycles. We forget that, of course, the planets are living beings. There she goes again, talking that woo-woo stuff. It's not, though. The universe is a living being. So everything within the universe is alive. Everything. So everything has cause and effect. Everything has karma. The sun didn't just appear magically. It took a long time for it to form that body that we call sun. It took a long time for it to form. So we know that bodies don't form unless they have an occupant. The sun has an occupant, the sun god. Venus has an occupant. We have an occupant. Our bodies have occupants. Everything has occupants. The universe has dark matter. It has dimensions that we can't perceive. And it's just like our inner life. It's very hard for us to understand that we're older than our bodies. It's very hard for us to see that we have dimensions within us. Everything in the universe has this balance where we reflect one another because we're all in relationship to one another. It's a beautiful family, but it's one body. We happen to call it the universe. And the universe is constantly changing and moving. Science tells us that the planets are moving faster than they did before. It's changing, it's growing. Some sort of cause produced that effect in the universe, and we are part of it. Everything grows old and it dies. The occupant leaves. Where does it go? It goes into those dimensions that we can't see with our eyes. Remember, you can't see your soul with your eyes. But every time you move your hand, that comes from you willing that to happen. So what I'm suggesting is that we help ourselves to become more present in the moment with everything that we're thinking, that we're doing, everything that you're looking at. Instead of looking at it and just going, oh, that's ugly. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, come on, let's go. I want to see something else. Help ourselves to be able to go a little deeper into our inner life, into our inner dimensions, and ponder. Give ourselves time to experience what's in front of us. As we get a little older, you really begin to see goes by really fast. So slowing down doesn't mean this. That's not what I'm talking about in terms of slowing down. What I'm talking about is more presence. Being empty. The one practice that I have that has taught me the most about being empty is sitting with you one-on-one. Because when we're sitting together, one of us has to be empty. Because one is full, which is why we're having that conversation. There's an exchange of energy. And that fullness that you come in with processes through me and returns back to you. So I have to have an emptiness so that I can receive you without judging you, without having criticisms over you, without any of those things, without having big wishes for your outcome either. It's your life. And of course, I wish you the best, but I have to be separate from it. Just like the scales are separate from each other. You know, when you see the image of the old-fashioned scale, they're not stuck together. They're separate, and they have to find balance in that separation. So the body and the mind are separate, but right now they live together. But at some point, my mind's going to move out of my body. It's going to vacate it. There's going to be a big emptiness, and this body will return to the earth or to the ethers if it's cremated. But the soul part, no, it continues on. So the sun will die, the earth will die, all the planets will die, of course, and the universe will carry on. And the occupants of those things still exist. There's an occupant in Venus and Mars and Jupiter and Uranus. Yeah. Life is everywhere. We like to think that it isn't, that there's some things that are not alive. But how could that possibly be? Everything's alive. What's in the air? We know germs live in the air, but you can't see it. You can feel the effects if you get a cold. Oh, germs. So-and-so had a cough the other day and I was around them. Now I have that cough, but you didn't see the germ that did it. Mm-mm. So same thing with thoughts. We can be together one day and have really bad thoughts. And 2 days later, the other person has bad thoughts. We catch that too if we're not taking care of ourselves. We know we have to have a strong immune system so that germs don't take us down. But what about our immune system of our mind? About negativity that we're around. You're not going to stop people from being negative by yelling at them. You're not going to stop people from being negative by being really angry at them. Stop it. Why? Things would be so much better if you wouldn't act like that. Right? Things would be. But here we are, all doing that. Because we forget about balance. When somebody's anger is upon us, we actually catch it just like we catch a cold. And if your immune system is strong, you'll feel it. You'll be like, oh, I feel this anger. I caught this anger. Oh my goodness. And by being aware of that, your inner life, your inner dimensions can help you find grace, peace, depth of love, which is very powerful, which can actually eradicate that out of you. So you don't catch it and become really sick because you caught somebody else's anger. But we catch anger, we catch germs, we catch things because they're around us all the time. The air is alive, not only with germs, but with thoughts, with vibrations, because they're not housed in your head. They don't just stay in there. We don't have skulls that are that thick, for Pete's sake. No way. So everything that you think moves through your body. So every illness, everything that we have comes from over time, energy accumulating in certain areas of our body that reflect the thoughts. So this is a very difficult thing that we're getting into because I don't want you to jump to any conclusions because it's really kind of deep and you have to ponder on it. Because we have illnesses in this lifetime that actually the causes are from other lifetimes. And we can barely even like think about what we did yesterday, much less 150 years ago. And there's no punishment. It's an accumulation of energy that can get into our body that can create stagnation. And that stagnation can create disease. Like puddles of negative energy, they coalesce and they become physical. Everything that's been physical has started out as invisible. The germs, we don't see them, they're invisible to us, but they become physical. They become part of us. We get sick. We're living together because they're living things. So what I'm saying is that the more that we understand the part of us that's really subtle, the part of us that we don't notice except through people's thoughts, words, and actions, of course, that's the part that we want to take care of, part of the mind. We want to help ourselves to feel more loving, more peaceful. We want to develop inner strength where we can let petty criticisms go, where we don't obsess over somebody else's negativity. I'm going to obsess over how negative this person is. You don't say that to yourself. I don't say it to myself. And yet it happens. Somebody is negative to us, they speak harshly to us. We obsess on it because that energy came into us so deeply that now we don't know what to do with it. And what can happen is then we become those qualities. So when you feel yourself becoming excessively angry, you want to come to your rescue and you want to have a practice where you can help yourself to counterbalance the negative energy. If you don't practice counterbalancing it, then you do become the thing that you disdain in the other person. When you say, oh, they're such an angry person. I can't believe how angry they are. Look at that. They're so angry. They're so angry. Well, what am I doing? I'm being angry about somebody being angry. You see, it means that I got it too. They got the virus. I got the virus. And now I'm spreading it to somebody else by telling them about how bad this person is over here. We all have to watch this in varying degrees. Some people are champions at really spreading germs. Some are champions at spreading peace, but it's an ongoing process. So if you fail today, you have the day after, because balance is one of those things that we never stop doing. Whether you're aware of practicing balance or not, you're always practicing balance, always changing, shifting, adjusting to new circumstances, because nothing stays the same. So everything is made up of past, present, and future, and we're always moving through it. So we can actually say they all happen at the same time because they do. So the more that you teach yourself to live in the moment, you're living in the past and in the future, and you're feeling the relationship between what's going on right now, what happened yesterday, and the probabilities of what will happen tomorrow. You learn all of that by being centered. But we live in times where most people are living in the distant future or the distant past. In their present, they're doing that. You don't have to do that because that's going to scare you, because you're going to probably go to the things that have the greatest amount of energy, and that's usually negative in that way because it's easy to get, because it's hard. Boom, you can feel it easy. But when you practice being in the moment and you feel yourself in this moment going, oh yeah, really, really tired. Okay, where did that tiredness come from? It came from yesterday and the day before, maybe this whole past week. You see what I mean? The awareness of in this moment, I feel tired, and you just let yourself feel it, you'll know where it came from. And you know, if you don't take care of it, you're going to be even more tired in the future. And when we're more tired, we don't have the ability to be as safe to protect ourselves. So being in the moment helps us to see, yes, I am tired, and it is because of this, but this is the result. Now, what am I going to do with this recipe and take it into the future? Are you going to rest, or are you just going to keep going until you fall? like little children. You know how little children do that. They just go until they fall asleep on the floor. So you have to know that that's natural to very little people, but not to big, tall people like us. We have to catch ourselves before we fall on the floor. But you can see we don't. We just go and go and go and go, and the vibrations get worse inside of us. And before you know it, we're sick. We've got to take time off because we've let everything go, and we're just so exhausted and burned out and all these things because we weren't in the moment and noticing it and taking action. So all the things that caused it moving through here and creating this future of exhaustion, because tiredness can actually go to exhaustion. And we've all had various forms of this in different times in our lives. So being in the moment, don't think to yourself that I want to be in the future. I'm telling you again, there's nothing in the future that doesn't have its seed in the moment. And that seed came from another plant that was in your past. And another seed and another experience and another plant. And it goes on and on and on and on. So the more you become aware of where you are right now, you have a better understanding of who you are. This is all about balance, past and the future, but the center is that part of the scale that's holding the two scales here. See, the present is in relationship with past and future all the time. So in the present, what you want to do is help yourself to feel what's going on right now. This is practicing intuition, because with intuition, we open ourselves to feel, oh yeah, that came from that. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was around that the other day and all those people were thinking that. Oh yeah, I even dreamt about it. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's still with me. I must be aware of that so that I can get quiet and let it seep away from me. So as we learn to be really quiet so things can move through us, it's even not enough. It's a really good start, don't get me wrong. But once you feel that you're moving it through you, you want to send it out in a good way. Because now it's back out in that pool that we call the air. And somebody else is going to pick it up and they're going to breathe it in, and they're going to get it too, right? So what we want to do is we're bringing this energy through us to clean ourselves of negative thoughts. Some of it we originated with us, some of it we were affected by other people. No need to dissect, just to be aware. That's enough. And then as it comes in and you notice, you become aware of the effect it's had on you. Now you have a choice. Choice is also about balance, this way or that way. Now you have a choice. How do you want to improve your energy? You know, it may be that you feel that you need to sleep, but you say, I can't sleep. My mind's going too fast. And if that's the truth, because it often is, don't lay down and just toss and turn. You'll pass out, but you won't sleep, not in the way you want to sleep. Let yourself unwind. Let yourself slow down. You know, when you pull up into a parking space, you're not going at full speed. You know, that's not going to work. You're braking, you're slowing down, you're being careful. Then you turn the car off, right? So same thing with your body-mind relationship. So the body right now is thinking, oh my God, we've got a lot to do. It's got adrenaline running through it, all this kind of stuff. It's ready, it's prepared for this thing that's scaring everybody inside of my body, right? You got to park the car. You got to slow down before you turn the car off. Before you turn the body off so that it can actually go really, really deep and regenerate itself, you have to slow down. You have to feel it inside of you. Go, oh my gosh, I'm actually going so fast that I won't be able to just fall asleep. So sometimes it's important to kind of look at your body like you look at your car. Because, you're inside of your car and how you drive it depends on your awareness. Same thing with your body. How you drive that thing around is the way that you have your awareness. So, in order to really have more peace, which gives us more strength to do what we really want to do, to live the life that we really want, we have to learn to slow everything down and clean it out. We clean our living space out, we clean our office space out, we clean all of our other spaces out. We also have to clean our energies from the day out from us too. We bathe, so you can think about this as an inner bath. So everything is about balance, the inner life with the outer life. All of our bodies are directly affected by the quality of our thoughts from today back to, I don't know, several hundred years. I have no idea how far back it goes. So all of us are affected by the immediate past and the distant past with our health. And where we are right now is we're teaching ourselves, like maybe anyway, to reassess and to create balance because we've discovered we're out of balance. So we reassess on what food we're having and where we're walking and how to get stronger in our body. And I love that we're doing that. But do you do that for your mind? Do you think about the foods that you eat and the effect that they have on your thoughts? If we have too much coffee, it has an effect on our thoughts. Not only our body, but how we're thinking, Um, different things, it's important for you to ask yourself, how do I feel after I eat this or after this? Because everything has a vibration. So that's why we have some foods that are very, very good for us. In Ayurvedic philosophy, they talk a lot about all the different spices that have the different effects on us. If it has an effect on your body, it's also has an effect on your mind. We don't think about food having an effect on the mind, but it does. Ice cream doesn't, generally speaking, ice cream doesn't make people sad. Yeah, let's go get some ice cream. Oh, yeah, now I feel even more sad. No, ice cream makes you smile, unless you're lactose intolerant, then you have your own kind of ice cream. So, what I'm saying is remember that all food has an impact not only on your body, but on the quality of your thoughts. Just like if you go and you sit with a group of certain people and you're listening to them talk, it has an effect on your body as well as on in your mind. So everything that's around us is always affecting our mind, and our mind is always affecting our body. We're not going to get where we really want to go merely by exercising. I love that though. Of course, we got to have a balance with exercise and not. I have to keep saying that because people are like, well, that's ridiculous. We have to exercise. But I never said we shouldn't. Of course, it's balance. Balance is important. But it's important that we don't always take the easy route and just think about the things that our eyes can see, our bodies. Because the effect, the quality of your body is directly related to the quality of your mind. And you see, we have to let go of judgment and criticism because we'll be like, but that body doesn't look like it's healthy. How could it have a healthy mind? It's bigger than we can understand. And don't come to conclusions just because it's handy to say it's because of this or it's because of that. You don't know. You don't know how old a person's soul is. You don't know how much they've gone through. You don't know. We make these conclusions and these judgments about people because it makes us feel superior. There's no balance in that. Because there's no love for the self or for them. The more that I feel superior to other people, I'm not feeding my mind or my body with love. Mm-mm. We want to feed ourselves love because it's empowering, makes us strong. It makes us liberated from other people's negative thoughts and our own negative thoughts. Balance, the practice of balance from the inside out. The inside out. We're always doing the outside in. When I exercise, it makes my mind feel better. Well, if you eat certain foods, it'll make your mind feel better for a little while too. But if you want to have a mind that's always feeling better, you have to exercise it from the inside out. What's the quality of your thoughts? How many times a day are you like, those people are so stupid, the whole world is going to hell, bah, 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 bah. And let me tell you, there's a lot to think about in those ways. So I get it. So I'm not saying anything negative about anybody here. All I'm saying is be aware that it can hurt your body, it can hurt your mind. Balance is really important to focus on. But think about it more from the inside out. Know that as you practice peace, you can actually feel better. When you practice anger, whew, you live in a place that's rattled like this, and it's jarring. It's literally jarring. As you become aware of that, you can make the changes. But we have to desire peace. Not everybody wants peace. You know that's true. There are people that have said to me, it's nothing. I don't know. I'm passionate. I want action. I want this. I always think, wait, what? Peace is one of those things that goes with everything. You know, it's something that you can have for dinner. It's something you can have for a snack. It's something that you can have while you're driving. Peace goes with everything. It's fuel. It's power. It's powerful. Peace is. It's really powerful. And have you ever thought about, isn't it interesting how we say, rest in peace? It's like, finally, you've earned peace. We say that about the deceased. Rest in peace. Like, you deserve it. This was the real hell. Now you get to be at peace. No, you still live in the same mind. Only the vehicle died. You still carry on. And all the thoughts that you had in life do not go away because they're in that part of you that's light. And you continue to live, and you continue to have adventures, and you continue to come back here. And you will start with a new vehicle in a new time zone, but your mind will be the same mind that you've always had. So you'll come into this lifetime with certain tendencies. People say, well, you get that from your parents. You get some of it from there, but you haven't always had those parents. They might have been your children. What you bring with you is every thought you've ever had, every action that you've ever had, every emotion you've ever experienced. They don't go away. Surely you've learned that just from this one lifetime. Nothing ever really goes away. There are things that we're still doing that we're like, oh, I was doing this when I was 4. Oh my God. So I say this so that we work on balance. Balance. Instead of just getting harder and faster and always thinking about tomorrow and moving in tomorrow filled with anger. We don't say, let's move into tomorrow with hope, because we're like, yeah, right. Yeah, let's move into tomorrow with hope. No, we're like, we're moving into tomorrow. We're moving everything and we're going to change everything. And it's going to be like this. Look at my body. I don't want my future to look like that. I don't want to have fists. I don't want to be stiff and rigid in my mouth and jaw clenched and growling. No, we have to practice in the moment to find strength. Anger has a strength to it, no doubt, but it's out of balance or it wouldn't hurt the body. It does hurt the body. Anger can get stuck in our body. It can make eyes twitch at the bare minimum. Oh yeah, it can make all kinds of problems and it can exacerbate problems that are already there. Why wouldn't it? You know how much energy it takes if you're angry at somebody at full speed. You're angry at somebody at full speed for 5 minutes. You have to come down from that. Your body, it'll take days for it to come down from that. That's not power like I want to have power. No, because you can burn yourself right out. You can burn your mind right out. So we have to practice feeling empowered. Peace is empowerment because it takes a lot of practice. It takes a strong will to be empowered with peace. Because you have to keep coming back to it and feeding it and taking care of it and loving it. Really wanting it to root itself inside of you so that you can make better decisions. You don't have as much fear inside of you because you have more peace. You have more space. That's balance. To work on emptiness. We're all full. And we even have sayings like that. I've had it up to here. I'm full. He's full of it. Right? But we don't say, wow, she's so beautifully empty. So emptiness has a different connotation than we usually think about it. It's space. It's room to move in. It's room to create in. It's room to love in. Space. You can move about more freely. Anger binds and controls you or others or both. Anger won't just go away, but what we want to do is we want to make it so it's more in balance. At some point it goes away, but for our purposes today, it's not going to go away. So we have to learn to balance it with our other emotions. Anger is such a raw emotion that animals, they're running through doing their anger thing, and we're supposed to be humans. I love animals. So when I say that, I'm not being insulting to animals. No, or to humans. I love humans. I'm a human. So I say this because it's too easy to go to. It's like always there. It's like it used to be in the 60s where the salt was on the table. There's always more salt. There's always more anger on the table. Yeah, it puts more anger on your food, It's always available. All you have to do is, get in your car and go someplace. You can get angry right away. You can just stay at home and get angry thinking about yesterday. It's always available. And we snack on it. But peace, now there's something we don't feed ourselves. We have vitamin deficiency with our peace. And if you have a vitamin deficiency, you can eat something to counterbalance the effect. We are starting to really understand that our bodies are something that we can improve upon by the food that we eat. I say that because it's like common knowledge, but it hasn't always been in practice. Now we're all talking about it a lot more than we ever have been, and that's great. When we start talking about the thoughts behind everything, that's when you know we're really in relationship with our spirituality as humanity. That balance needs to be treasured. Like how you see certain people, they love their cars and they take really good care of them, and they're out there on Saturday, waxing them and washing them and making them all shiny and everything. It looks great, and people do that with their bodies too. But the occupant of the car might not have got that treatment. So when he or she gets in the car, can be a terrible driver. Actually hurt someone in a beautiful, shiny, well tended to vehicle. So the same thing with us. We can have a very healthy, well tended vehicle, but still have a very polluted mind. And we can still hurt ourselves and others because of the quality of our thoughts have not been tended to as well as our vehicle has been. Balance. Tend to our thoughts and to our emotions in the same way that we tend to the health of our body. Then our life becomes very different. Very different. And the possibilities of it becoming even better and better begin to dawn on you. And you want to live like that. It doesn't mean that you don't know how bad the world is. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough to be strong, though, and kind to yourself, to have balance. And that will move from you everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you'll be dropping peace. You could go someplace else and not have an ounce of peace in you, and you're just going to be dropping anger everywhere you go. But drop it you will, just like peace. So I say this to you because balance is about the inside out. We already know about the outside in. So being still, practicing stillness, it's hard, huh? And you know why it's hard? Because the world is vibrating at such a high rate. And you're part of the world. So you take on that vibration. So then when you go to meditate, it's like, I don't like this feeling. I can't even do this. I'm all over the place. My mind goes too fast, right? It takes practice. But there will be people who will not like the experience in the beginning so much that they abandon it. Because it's not easy, because as you start to get quiet in the beginning, like the first 10,000 times, and you start to hear how loud your mind is, it's very disconcerting. And we can't even believe that this is unique. I mean, that it's not unique to us. That's why people say to me all the time, well, my mind goes too fast. Well, welcome to the human race. It's a problem every single human has in varying degrees on different days of the week. We go too fast and we trip and we fall on our words, on our commitments, our ability to give service to one another. Yeah, we all got it. Not because we're bad, but because we're out of balance. We're going too fast. If you get a little 12-year-old sitting behind a wheel of a car, 30 is going to be way, way too fast. So we're kind of like that. And then we hurt ourselves. So I'm encouraging you to practice balance from the inside out. And to remember that there's balance between your past and your future, and it's right here in the moment. Helping yourself to realize that you have a past that's full of all this stuff that you did, that you're aware of. Oh boy, that's all going to be in my future. Well, Yes, but you temper it with how you are today. And those two mix together and creates your future. So if you've been having some very, very bad problems in your past, but you become aware and you practice more inner peace, those past things that happened mix with your efforts to create peace within yourself. And that becomes your karma for your future, right? It's like when we become aware that we can help ourselves also when we have diseases, you know, we have to help ourselves in here. And it's not easy because when there's something that's eating at your body, causing you pain, it's really, really difficult. But even that, wanting to love and not feel like you've been bad in some way, because you haven't been. Having a disease, having an accident, having problems with our bodies does not mean that we've been bad. Those are judgments that we put on ourselves and other people. It means we've been living. And we've made some errors because we went down some blind alleys. But we also had times that were really, really excellent choices. And they're all living in there together. Everything's living in there together. There's not anybody that's wholly bad. Mm-mm. So I say this to you as we go through this. So don't be looking inside of yourself thinking, well, I've been really bad. That's why my body is like this. No, give the attention that the body needs, but give your mind far more attention than you give your body, because as you help your mind, you will help your body. Every single thought that you think starts in command central and moves out to every nerve in your body. So that's why we can, like with acupuncture, they can have this hurts, it's related to this, and that's related to that, and ultimately that's related to that. Everything's related to our thoughts, to our emotions. So when you see people acting improperly, maybe even very bad, don't let yourself get corrupt and become those thoughts and those feelings. Check your balance. Make sure you didn't catch it. Make sure you're keeping yourself clean. And like I said, once you push it out from yourself, go ahead and follow it up with, and may all that I am releasing today be converted into peace. You can say it however you want. But what we're doing is we're acknowledging that we want everything to be converted into good energy. And we know that we can make good energy. Absolutely. We just have to remember that we're all struggling. We're all doing our best. We are. People say, no, this person's not. You don't know. You don't know what kind of past lives they've had. You don't know what kind of life that they've had in this lifetime. You have no idea that this, you can see them changing this much, but really it has this big of an impact on their life. And every time that you say to yourself, that person's not changing, they're this, they're da, 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 you're not getting the same impact that they're getting if they're working on their life. Work on yourself. Help yourself to be free. Help yourself to be free of every single thing that you notice in other people that really hurt you or make you feel, ugh. You look inside, see where you have to do some cleaning and some repair work. Be grateful that you have the awareness to be able to do that kind of work. It's really important. So our word for the month of July till our first Sunday in August is the word integrity. And it kind of flows really nicely with balance. You can even do balance and integrity. The saboteur this time of integrity, this might throw you for a little loop, but is the word image. Something to consider. Integrity, image. See what you come up with. And I'm encouraging you to remember, you want to, like with the word of the month, you want to like insert it into conversation. You want to practice becoming it throughout the day. Integrity. I am in integrity. I am living a life with integrity. When you're someplace and you're wishing you were someplace else, you want to go, no, wait, I'm here in this moment. My feet, my body, my mind are in this particular space at this moment. Let me be in integrity, realize it, accept it, and be at peace. So we're going to do 3 ohms in just a moment. But for those of you who want to stay, we're going to do meditations to help us to be a little bit more in the present, like a little bit more body-mind relationship awareness. So remember with ohms, we want to really, it's very important to say them with your heart. Whenever you do any sort of sounds like an om, or you do a prayer, or you do a chant or an affirmation, if you don't do it with your heart, you cheat yourself of the integrity of the experience. Really. Always do it with your heart. Never just be like, okay, I am at peace. I'm at peace. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, I'm at peace. I'm doing my affirmations right now. Yeah, I'm at peace. So damn hot in here, right? Let us do 3 ohms. Oh. 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 Thank you for being with us. Peace be with you. Namaste. 5 minutes and we'll be right back.